Why, hello there. Welcome to my living room. Slowly but surely, you will see my entire apartment, not just the studio. So, I have a lot of editing to do today because, freelance video is, in the ideal scenario, my job. And so I have to edit for work, which means I can't put as much time editing into VEDS. So, I'm going to do two things today. One, I'm going to make this my video, and hopefully I can make it through with as minimal pauses as possible to cut down on the editing. Two, I'm going to talk while I get some file management done that should prep for the editing. Also, I have a lav mic now. We'll see how that audio pans out, but I thought that might help in the studio when there's noise coming from upstairs and around the apartment outside. But it also might mean I need to scale back on how much I project because now I have the mic here instead of across the room. And it is voter registration day here in America. So if you're in America and you are able to, register to vote, please. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for because that's kind of gauche. But I believe you would safely assume who I'm voting for. I would encourage you to vote for the same candidate. That honestly felt a little gauche. I probably should cut that out. But this election cycle, I think you can get away with it. Also, vote down the ballot. Don't just focus up at top because the stuff that has the most direct influence on you, chances are, is the things that people don't care about as much. The state Senate seats and stuff like that. And if you can vote by mail, do that. Here in Tennessee, they are not letting everyone vote by mail, which is disappointing. But if you are able to do that, take advantage of that. It's just a much better way to vote. And if you can vote early, if you can't vote by mail, vote early. Once again, just a better way of voting. In Tennessee, luckily, there is a lot of good voting early options. You don't have to vote at your polling place, which is good because it means that if you work across town, then you can just drop on by after work, which is what I'm doing. Also, more flexible hours and on multiple days. So if you work on election day, you can't make it, then you can make it to the polls there. Not everywhere has early voting, which is also disappointing. But luckily, Tennessee does. Anyway, that's what's been on my mind. So while I do this, I'm going to talk about a topic, and that topic will be decided by this D4. I have 4 topic ideas, so let's roll and figure out. Number 1. Okay, cool. We are going to be talking about the movie F is for Fake by Orson Welles. It's a movie that I recently watched. It's on the TCM section of HBO Max, although I haven't checked this, but I bet you could find it on YouTube, because you can often find older movies like that on YouTube. Let me get a second Finder window going here real quick. F for Fake is a documentary, once again, by the eponymous Orson Welles, and it is about ostensibly, it's about an art forger and kind of the shenanigans that he got up to in his life. But it's more than just a documentary. It's also kind of a treatise by Welles on fakery in the arts, and how that translates to film. And it's very interesting. It has a very quick-paced editing style that I've seen some people describe as very exhausting. I can see that. I can totally see where people would say that. I personally found it more exhilarating. And I think that it's very reminiscent of what a lot of video essayists are trying to do here on the platform. Especially with this idea of, I'm going to talk about one thing, but really I'm talking about a wider theme in general with this one case study. Also, Orson Welles is just a very charismatic person. And this is a very personal film. He talks about his own work, his own life, and he was a director who often didn't get a chance to have final edit of his films. And so there's almost kind of a feel that this is him commenting on that. And commenting kind of on being the outside of the establishment of filmmaking. He didn't really see himself as part of that, So it's an interesting concept on that too. It does have some kind of leery parts where it's kind of leering at Oya Kadar, who is an actress in a lot of his films. There is thematic relevance to that. There's a reason why the camera is doing that. However, it can still be a little uncomfortable. And within the larger systems of Hollywood filmmaking, you might just, that might be something that you don't think is worth the thematic relevance. But overall, I found it very interesting. It's about an hour and a half and very entertaining throughout. You hear documentary and you think kind of dry talking heads and stuff. This is definitely not what it is. This is a documentary as only Orson Welles could or even would. So I would highly suggest checking it out. And that will do it for today, friends and fellow VEDSies. I've got a little bit more work to do. That's not true. I have a lot more work to do. Hopefully, though, I can keep most of the editing I need to do this week tonight, and so it won't affect the rest of my editing schedule. But I hope you are registered to vote and are just going to have the best of nights. I will see y'all later.